Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Recently, the United States has adjusted its regulatory rules, effectively issuing a new ban, though not targeting Chinese companies, but South Korean companies Samsung and SK hynix. The decision to revoke the two companies' mainland China wafer fab license exemptions will take effect in 120 days. This means that Samsung and SK hynix's mainland China factories will need to apply for licenses to purchase American equipment. Existing factories can continue production, but expansion and technology upgrades are prohibited. So, what is the purpose of the US ban, and will China be affected? First, the US ban explicitly targets South Korean companies Samsung and SK hynix, so these two companies are naturally directly affected. Samsung and SK hynix are two of the three largest memory companies in the world, the other being the US company Micron. Samsung and SK hynix are significantly ahead of Micron, with a combined global share of approximately 70% of DRAM and 50% of NAND. Unlike Micron, both Samsung and SK hynix have multiple memory wafer fabs in mainland China. Samsung's 11nm fab accounts for 42% of its global NAND production, while SK's Wuxi fab accounts for nearly 50% of its global DRAM production. In recent years, China's domestic memory chip industry has experienced rapid development. To thwart this development, and with Micron's lobbying, the US introduced its strictest export controls in history in October 2022, establishing standards for memory chip production. Of course, these US controls primarily target wafer fabs in mainland China, as Samsung, SK hynix, and TSMC's mainland factories were quickly granted one-year exemptions, and a year later, permanent exemptions, conditional on accelerating investment and construction in the US. Now, the permanent exemption has been suddenly revoked, with the goal of encouraging Korean companies to relocate significant production capacity to the US. Secondly, this US ban is also implicitly targeting mainland China's memory development. The most direct impact is on memory chip production capacity. If Samsung and SK hynix can continue to upgrade and expand, their memory chip production capacity in mainland China will continue to grow. Of course, the US does not want to see Korean companies' mainland factories increase production capacity. What they want is for Korean companies to increase their memory production capacity in the US. The deeper impact actually involves AI competition. Don't underestimate memory chips with less advanced manufacturing processes. One type of memory, called HBM memory, high bandwidth memory, is an essential component in AI chips. It's well known in China that NVIDIA, the US company, is the global AI chip giant, holding approximately 90% of the global market share. Even NVIDIA relies on HBM memory from Korean companies. Without advanced HBM chips, there would be no NVIDIA AI chips. To produce AI chips, NVIDIA first needs to design the GPU chip and outsource it to TSMC for foundry production. Then, NVIDIA purchases HBM memory from Korean companies and uses TSMC's advanced packaging technology to create AI chips. SK hynix holds approximately 90% of the global HBM3 market and is a core supplier to NVIDIA, surpassing even Samsung. Although Samsung lags behind in HBM technology, it is working hard to improve its capabilities. Samsung's 12-layer HBM3E stack has reportedly been certified by NVIDIA, and the two parties have signed an agreement for mass production. Given that Samsung and SK hynix are key suppliers of HBM chips to NVIDIA, and their involvement in AI chip competition is crucial, how could the US relax its controls on them? Therefore, the new US ban effectively blocks these two companies from upgrading their technology in mainland China. This will further facilitate US control of HBM chips, thereby hindering the development of China's AI industry. However, does the US truly believe this will halt China's AI development? The US's restrictions will only further strain Samsung and SK hynix, as they cannot upgrade their technology or expand their production capacity, making them unsustainable in the long term due to their existing factories. Because memory chip technology is rapidly evolving, mainland memory manufacturers Yangtze Memory Technologies and Changshan Memory Technologies, while unable to purchase advanced US equipment, are currently accelerating domestic substitution, which will naturally allow them to further improve their capabilities and accelerate expansion in the future. The US restrictions have effectively freed up a significant portion of the market share for Samsung and SK hynix, making it easier for Chinese companies to replace them. Regarding HBM chips, although China primarily relies on Samsung and SK hynix, this US move is forcing China to accelerate its breakthroughs. In fact, Chinese companies are also diligently developing HBM3 technology, and domestic memory companies are reportedly already achieving breakthroughs. Foreign media outlets commented that this is another opportunity for Chinese companies. The new US ban directly targets Samsung and SK hynix's mainland China wafer fabs, not only freeing up market share for mainland storage manufacturers, but also forcing them to achieve a breakthrough in HBM.